2018 Renault Kadjar Review. The good points of Renault Kadjar: comfortable seats, cheap to operate, well equipped, practical design. The bad points of Renault Kadjar: some scratchy plastics, disappointing manual gear change, looks won't suit all tastes, no high-powered diesel. Strip away the curvaceous bodywork on the Renault Kadjar SUV and what's underneath is extremely similar to the Nissan Qashqai. In fact, it's a product with the Renault-Nissan alliance, which implies the best from both firms when it comes to chassis design, engine lineup and gearboxes. The styling, technology, interior fixtures and fittings are pure Renault usually, however, which is the reason it's wise to look at this car since the Renault captures bigger brother rather than rebadged Nissan. Naturally, the Qashqai is just one of its closest rivals. Nevertheless, the crossover sector can be quite competitive, with key rivals to arrive the form on the Ford Kuga, Mazda CX-5, Peugeot 3008 and Volkswagen Tiguan. And in reality, we reckon it is a particularly nice SUV to consider. Its curvy design won't suit all tastes, but Renault's design language has translated well on the Kadjar, and then there are some neat design details that really help to disguise the dimensions of this car. It drives well too, is comfortable, seriously quiet and also practical too. There really isn't a great dislike concerning the Kadjar. 4 engines to pick from. You've a selection of 4 engines, 1.2-liter T130 and 1.6-liter T165 petrols together with 1.5 and 1.6-liter diesels, generally known as DC110 and DC130, respectively. Then you can choose from a 6-speed manual gearbox or perhaps dual-clutch automatic transmission. The most in demand is the DC110, capable of producing less than 99 GkM in CO2 emissions and fuel economy of 74.3 miles per gallon. The stronger diesel also contains the option of your 4-wheel drive system, which could send chance to the rear wheels once the fronts commence to slip. This is useful, nevertheless the reality is hardly any buyers will be needing it. Packed with kit. You've got a selection of 5 trim levels as well as some optional packs to decipher when deciding which to purchase. Dynamic S-Nav sits within the middle from the range and is the most effective seller, which has a huge volume of kit for any relatively low shop price. Highlights even at base spec Expression Plus trim provide an electric parking brake, front fog lights, air conditioning, Bluetooth and DAB digital radio. You could get a lot of safety kit too, plus this Renault received a 5-star Euro NCAP rating. We like the Vigio system you obtain on just about base spec cars, particularly because it will watch traffic signs and warn you whenever you stray on the indicated speed limit. It also includes lane departure warning as well as an automatic headlight leveling function. Why buy? Although using the popular Qashqai, the Kadjar is definitely an impressive machine, plus models registered before February 1, 2018 make use of Renault's 4-year warranty and breakdown cover. It also boasts strong residual values. This means finance and leasing deals will certainly offer stronger value, whilst long since the Renault-only parts remain reliable. The French option seems like a great proposition. The verdict. The Renault Kadjar is truly one of many crossovers wanting to lure family buyers, however it's a tempting proposition due to good looks, a spacious interior and generous set of standard kit. Boosting its appeal further can be a range of efficient petrol and diesel engines and wide array of trim levels. Watch the entire Renault Kadjar SUV review why it is really an appealing package for families. Choice of 2 petrol and a couple diesel motors. Emphasis: this is economy not performance. Larger DC 130 and 165 will be the punchiest. There are 4 engine options metering out Renault Kadjar performance with either 6-speed manual or, for that's 130 petrol and DC 110 diesel motors, EDC twin-clutch automatic transmissions. For the most effective acceleration, it's also possible to have 4-wheel drive around the most powerful diesel. Diesel power. Most Kadjars will likely be diesel-powered. The most in-demand version will be the DC 110 and, as the name suggests, it can make 110 horsepower, complemented by 260 Nm of torque from 1,750 revolutions per minute. That's enough for the sprint from 0-62 miles per hour in 11.9 seconds and top speed of 113 miles per hour. Those figures become 11.7 seconds and 112 miles per hour using the optional EDC transmission. Sitting above that could be the DC 130, a single 6-liter unit with 130 horsepower and 320 Nm from 1,750 revolutions per minute. Its 0-62 miles per hour use of 9.9 seconds or 10.5 seconds in 4-wheel drive form and top speed of 118 miles per hour don't tell the whole story here. This is definitely an engine that is smooth, punchy and also nice drive in automobile. Most French diesels resemble this, but on account of the refined nature from the Kadjar, we're impressed. It's very quiet too, which can be a further bonus. 2 petrol alternatives. The petrol solutions in the Kadjar kick off that has a 1.2-liter called 130. This has 130 horsepower, though with 205 Nm of torque from 2000 revolutions per minute. You see, you have to change gear rather a lot more often than with all the diesel. It also should work quite hard, which can be going to possess a noticeable relation to fuel economy, and sound strained if you need to ask even more of it. Top speed is 119 miles per hour, together with the manual version completing the 0-62 miles per hour sprint in 10.1 seconds, compared with all the EDC's 10.7 second figure. The manual gearbox is usually a blot around the landscape of any very good performance from Renault. The gearshift possesses an incredibly long throw, and then there was some movement from side to side in the event the car was a student in gear, too. If you need a more responsive petrol-powered Kadjar, the 165 is definitely an option. With a 0-62 miles per hour use of 9.2 seconds, it's little quicker versus the DC 130 diesel, but it really goes on to a premier speed of 127 miles per hour. You can only pair this engine together with the manual gearbox. Which Renault Kadjar gearbox, auto or manual? Coupled with all the quirkily shaped gear knob, this matter doesn't often gel with all the rest from the Kadjar's highly refined nature. A little bit of tweaking and tightening here would make a choice feel of upper quality. The same goes for the EDC dual-clutch gearbox. The lever itself is like a bit of an afterthought, rendering it unpleasant to make use of. Nonetheless, it's smooth and responsive enough if you love relaxed driving. Demand which is not it by putting your foot down. This means you will jolt the vehicle and make it become flustered. Tidy handling and pleasing steering. Optional 4WD with the larger diesel. Lightness boosts handling and efficiency. Get beyond the fact that this isn't a fancy car and you'll find some crossover that handles well. It's using the same underpinnings as being the Qashqai, so we can't really fault that. There's a good amount of body roll if you will find yourself choosing a corner straight away, but driving normally that is nothing to be worried about. We found the steering being great too. It's heavier on diesel models, which improves communication over the steering wheel. In general it's accurate and well judged due to the application. You have the choice of a four-wheel drive system for the DC-130 engine. It uses the leading wheels with the majority with the time, only sending capability to the rears when slip is detected. There are 3 modes due to this: 2WD two-wheel drive, auto the vehicle decides tips on how to administer the energy, and lock which sends exactly 50% of ability to each end from the car nearly 25 miles per hour. While this technique works very well indeed, and allows the Kadjar to venture off-road by success, it's telling that few buyers actually plump because of this when buying a motor vehicle of this type. You'll save fuel and use a lighter car in case you leave it off. And the Kadjar's weight is yet another reason this car handles such an accomplished fashion. A low-spec petrol version tips the scales just over 1,300 kilograms, which really isn't much considering that many small hatchbacks weigh much more. Generally good quality materials employed. Digital instrumentation is simple to watch. High-spec models feature fine multimedia system. From behind the wheel of an Kadjar you're presented which has a nicely designed cabin. A few from the plastic surrounding features such because the sunroof, air vents and door handles are of lower grade and can scratch easily. Even so the rest with the materials within the cabin feel refreshingly high quality for any car of the price. The screen inside the instrument binnacle projects an electronic speedo directly in front with the driver, flanked by additional information such as four-wheel drive operation where fitted and trip computer details. You've also got a 7.0-inch touchscreen with the link to Infotainment System, and this is highly flicking between menus quickly and taking the lightest of touches to work. Fingerprints for the screen shouldn't be as much of your problem. We found the driving position being excellent. It's high, as you'd expect to get a car such as this, which means you've got terrific visibility of one's surroundings. Very comfortable and supportive seats. Larger alloy wheels spoil the ride quality. Quiet interior with little noise arriving. In general, Renault Kadjar comfort levels are exceedingly high. In fact, a possible problem comes with higher spec cars which may have 19-inch alloy wheels. The ride then gets to be a little choppy, vibrating through the vehicle and becoming just a little irksome before too long. That's easily fixed though. It's a no-cost substitute for switch to 17-inch wheels and they're far better. The ride quality is really fantastic once that little issue addressed, but the most beneficial thing concerning the Kadjar with regards to comfort could be the seating. The front seats are just brilliant, whether covered with leather or fabric, they're corsetting and supremely supportive. It's an astonishingly quiet car too, especially using the excellent diesel engines installed. There isn't much wind or road noise noticeable, as well as it's possible to possess a conversation with passengers at surprisingly low volume. You'll come away feeling relaxed after the long drive inside the Kadjar. What more is it possible to wish for? A quintet of trim levels can be obtained. Equipment is generous overall. Wide choice of extra cost options. There are 5 familiar Renault trim levels available for the Kadjar: Expression Plus, Dynamique Nav, Dynamique S-Nav, Signature Nav and Signature S-Nav. Standard Renault Kadjar SUV equipment. Expression Plus. At the bottom from the range, Expression Plus nets you a great amount of kit as standard. The highlights include electric parking brake, DAB digital radio, LED daytime running lights, tinted windows, digital speedo, aircon, Bluetooth connectivity, USB port and 12-volt sockets, dynamic nav. Moving as much as dynamic nav, because name suggests, gains you Renault's relink to multimedia system including sat-nav. This works using a 7.0-inch screen inside center console, with a really slick operation. We were impressed with both screen's sensitivity as well as the refresh rate on the software. Other highlights for this trim include 17-inch alloys, hands-free keycard, Vigio system lane departure warning, traffic sign recognition and automatic headlight beam adjustment, dual-zone climate control, automatic lights and wipers. You get extra chrome detailing, together with darker rear windows, a leather-trimmed litre, driver's seat lumbar adjustment, a louder stereo and cornering front fog lights. Dynamic S-Nav. Next up is exactly what Renault says is the most favored specification of Kadjar. This ushers in 19-inch alloy wheels, though 17-inchers undoubtedly are no cost option. Front and rear parking sensors. Part-leather part-cloth upholstery with height adjustment for the driver's seat. Electrically adjustable heated door mirrors. Three-way adaptable boot floor. Signature nav. This throws 100% LED headlights in addition to a panoramic glass sunroof, which we love to, and different 19-inch alloys, which we didn't like much for their choppy ride. A high-quality Bose hi-fi system with 8 speakers is included, as well as special cloth and leather upholstery, painted front and back skid plates, a Napa leather controls and a high-adjustable passenger seat. Signature S-Nav. Plump for that flagship Signature S-Nav, plus the extra niceties incorporate a reversing camera and blind spot warning system, a black leather interior with heated front seats, as well as a self-parking function. Optional Renault Kadjar SUV extras. You've got 7 option packs and a choice of individual options to look at when specifying your Kadjar. Expression Plus models could be upgraded with either 17-inch alloy wheels or automatic lights and wipers, while Dynamic Nav buyers can add front and back parking sensors as well as a fox leather and cloth upholstery. Those with Dynamic S-Nav models can downgrade to 17-inch alloys to get a far better ride and minimize CO2 emissions, while Signature Nav customers can upgrade to full black leather upholstery. There's an extra wheel conveniently obtainable, and you can't have this around the top-spec car because the subwoofer for that Bose hi-fi gets inside the way. The Climate Pack for Expression Plus nets you dual-zone climate control in conjunction with automatic headlights and wipers. There's a Parking Pack for Dynamic Nav cars, which adds front and back parking sensors and also the electrically adjustable, heated and folding door mirrors. At Signature Nav you could add the Parking Pack Premium, such as the automatic parking system as well as a rear-view camera. The Safety Pack Premium gets you blind spot warning and automatic emergency braking, as you move. The Techno Pack Premium includes all with the above options. Other options add a retractable tow bar and illuminated lower body side moldings. 5-star rating from Euro NCAP. Raft of active safety kit available. Surprising not enough adaptive cruise control. Renault Kadjar safety has become assessed through the experts at Euro NCAP's crash testing facility as being a 5-star car, no real surprise given the French marque's record in the past 20 years. At the core on the car you've got a substantial, rigid body that doesn't weigh a large amount. Standard safety measures include ABS, stability and traction control systems, cruise control, a speed limiter, Hill Start Assist to avoid rolling backwards on hills, 6 airbags as well as a pair of ISOFIX child seat mounting points for the 2 outermost rear seats. There's another tire pressure monitoring system plus a tire inflation kit, should you will get a flat tire. On dynamic nav and above cars, you go for the Visual system, such as lane departure warning, traffic sign recognition and automatic high beam adjustment. The highest trims go for automatic park assist, that could guide the vehicle into and away from parallel, perpendicular or angled parking spaces. The optional Safety Pack Premium could be ordered on Signature and Signature S models, and includes blind spot warning along with an autonomous emergency braking mechanism. Notable by its absence is adaptive cruise control, which isn't even a choice. Spacious passenger compartment. One with the largest boots in the class. Plenty of storage for bits and pieces. As you'd expect for the car on this size, Renault Kadjar practicality is impressive. There's greater than ample room for 4 fully grown adults to take a seat in comfort, while 3 younger children inside back should pose few problems either. You have a pair of cup holders inside front as well as the same in a corner, tucked within a folding armrest between 2 outer seats. There's an overall total of 30 liters of storage and cubbies dotted around the cabin. Front and rear passengers both make use of a 12-volt socket too. The boot measures 472 liters, extending to some maximum of 1,478 liters when the spine seats are folded down flat. Incidentally, dependent upon trim or options you've picked, those seats can fold back with one touching the lever inside the boot. And the luggage space itself is quite versatile should you've gone for the car together with the adaptable boot. This allows 3 configurations because of high and low floor positions, meaning you're capable of secure smaller stuff you don't want flying around after you're driving. The Kadjar is slightly over Qashqai on what it's spaced. Nonetheless you can forget difficult to maneuver and park. There are sensors and cameras entirely on several models to help you with this, while there's a lot of glass to support the view out. What you will notice would be the strange sound the sensors make, nevertheless, you'll enjoy it on time. In standard setup, the Kadjar offers 472 liters of boot space. That's in excess of its Qashqai stablemate, but less versus the likes with the Peugeot 3008, Cetica and Kia Sportage. However, there's useful underfloor storage along with an adjustable boot floor, while it's all too easy to expand the strained space by folding the back seats down. On some models, it is possible with a simple lever located within the boot.